So, hello everyone, a very good afternoon to all, and dear authors and invited guests. Welcome to the technical session 3B. My name is Anisha Mishra, and I am the moderator for today's session. On behalf of Global Knowledge Research Foundation, it is my great pleasure to welcome you all to the International Conference on Information and Communication Technology for Intelligent System, ICTIS 2023, Ahmedabad, India. The seventh edition of the conference is being organized in a hybrid mode. The physical event was held in Ahmedabad, India on 27th of April 2023, and the virtual event is being held through Zoom today, that is 28th April 2023. I hope you all will enjoy the knowledgeable and interactive sessions through the day. In this session, we have 10 presentations, and each presenter will be given 10 minutes for the presentation and 2 minutes for the question and answers. And on 7 minutes, I will raise a gentle reminder. There is another request to all the presenters that you all please stay connected with us till the closing of the session. And if you have any update or query, then you can write it to me in the chat box. Yeah, so just before we start the session, I would like to introduce you all to the chair of the session, Professor Monica Rathore. And yeah, just a second. Professor Monica Rathore is currently associated with IIM as Associate Professor and over 15 years of MCA teaching experience, research supervisor at Rajasthan Technology University, Kota, and currently 6 students are pursuing PhD in computer science under her supervision, and more than 20 research papers have been published in reputed journals. So I welcome Professor Monica Rathore in the session. And now we will move forward to our to start with the presentation. And I would like to invite our first presenter, Selvamani K, to present his paper on the title, A Real-Time Design Pattern Using Map-Reduce Strategy, Visit the Distributed Service-Oriented Strategy. So dear presenter, you can please start your presentation. Do we have Selvamani here? Okay, so we'll move forward to our next presenter. And our next presenter is Darshan Singh, and his paper title is A Study on Cybersecurity and Its Challenges in India. Darshan, you may please start your presentation.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Good afternoon, everyone. Is it visible?
Yes, visible.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Tejas Juyal. I'm showing my paper in place of Mr. Darshan Singh. My paper is on cybersecurity and its challenges in India. As you can see, our contributions paper we are actually discussing the motive and need of cybersecurity and its challenges that are faced by India. And our general review of cybersecurity environment reveals numerous risks and difficulties that nation is currently experiencing. Exploring the current cybersecurity laws and regulation in India, and we will evaluate their efficiency. Proposing guidelines and discussing the current scenario related to cybersecurity and its challenges can help the current situation that our country is facing. First I will give you an overview of our paper. So we'll start with introduction, and it includes various cyber attacks that happened in India in previous years, need for cybersecurity in India. Then we'll go to literature review and some recent instances of cyber attacks in India. And then I'll be showing you the proposed guidelines of our paper for making our India more cyber safe. And then we'll finish it with conclusion and future work. So our paper generally gives a general review of India's current cybersecurity environment, analysis of risk and challenges that our country is currently facing in cybersecurity, evaluation of our current cybersecurity laws and regulations that are passed by our Indian government. And then we'll recommend the best practices, technology adoption, capacity building, and public-private partnership to enhance the cybersecurity in India. So as you can see, these are the previous cyber attacks that has happened in India in the previous years. As you can see, the most probability is of data leakage that has happened up to 55% of our total cyber attacks. Then it goes to phishing emails, account takeovers, malware downloads, ransomware, and application targeted attacks. First, we'll discuss the actual need of cybersecurity in India. Why we need that? The most precious resource of an individual, corporate sector, or nation is the need of cybersecurity information. Concerned regions with regarding to individuals are protection of system resources from illegal accesses, disclosure, and modification. Increasing the security of online payment, for example, of stock trading, bankings, and reservation of trains. Protection of social media accounts against theft, and as you can, we all know that India's penetration rate has been increased dramatically after the launch of 4G. Though this is a literature review that have been submitted in the paper. As you can see that Purnima have discussed safety of India's nuclear infrastructure against cyber attacks and hybrid warfare. Dr. Prasad discussed which put modern nation organization and international interaction at risk. It defines that cyber terrorism discusses the different threats and problems that cyber terrorism poses to India's national security. And Mr. Datta, the internet and the computer system play an important role in modern civilization, as we all know. Individuals have significantly profited from the advancement of networking and cyberspace. However, some people are abusing this advancement to gain illicit advantages. Some recent instances of cyber attacks in India. One of the largest tech companies, An Academy, experienced a data breach in May 2020 that exposed information of 22 million Indian consumers. Their email addresses, username, and password from the compromised accounts were made available for the purchase on the dark web. In January 2021, the COVID-19 lab results of thousands of Indian patients were leaked online through official government websites. Date of birth, full name, testing facilities, and testing data were some of the sensitive information that was leaked and made public in Google. In November 2020, a cyber attack on Indian employment websites, I am Jobs, resulted in an online disclosure of 1.4 million Indian job seekers' personal information of stock. India's second largest brokerage had a data breach in April 2021 that exposed the personal information of 2.5 million customers. So, proposed guidelines to make our India more cyber safe. We have to correct our legal framework in order to remove ambiguities from data protection laws. For example, there are many different organizations. We have to make them one, to so that if something happened, we have to blame it on one organization, not many. And we have to make some changes in 2013 cybersecurity policies, and we have to also opt for cybersecurity education in school. So, to inclusion and future work, priority of cybersecurity for individuals, business, and government in India. Investment in cybersecurity measures to protect data and digital assets. Awareness raising and steps individuals can take to increase security of our device and data. Training programs and creation of more trained experts in cybersecurity. Government role in establishing law and regulation, legal action against data breaching, and creating technology standards for data protection. So these are the references I've used. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the presentation, Darshan. And now we will move forward to our next presenter.
Thank you so much.
And I would like to invite Singh Lata B. to please present her paper on the title Airline Ticket Price Forecasting Using Time Series Model. You may please start your presentation.
Yeah, okay, Anisha. Good afternoon to all. Firstly, we feel immense pleasure to present in this ICTIS conference 2023. The title of our paper is Airline Ticket Price Forecasting Using Time Series Model. The authors of our paper are Selvi, Sneglata, Trinaya, and Vasha. The main objective of our project is to develop a dynamic pricing system for airline tickets. We makes the facility for the organization to get their forecasting graph of flight price, and also they can able to get the price on a particular date. The airways is more sophisticated in terms of pricing strategies, so that the cost of the ticket may fluctuate multiple times a day because of imbalances between the number of seats available and the demand from passengers. If there is any festival times or any holidays, the price of the airline tickets will be high. So predicting those price values based on the duration or seasonality, we have developed this dynamic pricing system. These are the papers which we have referred to develop our proposed system. By reading all those papers, we found that in the above papers, they have used machine learning techniques like random forest, k nearest neighbor, adabos, decision tree, and some deep learning techniques like artificial neural networks, so on. But we have proposed time series algorithms, because time series algorithms are best to handle the seasonality data and then the time series data. So in the time series algorithm, we have tried with Arima and Sarimax. Among that, we found Sarimax algorithm provides the good accuracy, so we fixed that to our model. This is the architecture of our proposed system. Firstly, we done the data set collection. We have collected the data set from Kaggle, which contains 1110 rows, and then we move on to the pre-processing stages. In the pre-processing stages, we have converted the data type of the particular column, date, time, and then we check for stationarity of data. Initially, the data is not in the time series data is not stationary. So we have applied different transformation techniques like square root and third order difference. While we applying a square root and third order difference, we found that our data will become stationary by using the AdFlow test and KPSS test. Then after making the time series data stationary, we have tried with three algorithms. The first one is Arima with square root transformation techniques that provides an accuracy of 72%. And then we have tried Sarimax algorithm with the third order difference transformation technique, that we found an accuracy of 91.2%. And then we also tried Arima with the second order difference transformation technique, that we found an 85% of accuracy. Among all, the Sarimax algorithm provides a higher accuracy. We make prediction by using that algorithm. This time series model is connected with the user interface, that we have developed this user interface by using HTML and CSS. This user interface and time series model have been linked by using a Python Flask web framework. When the user gives the input by using the Flask web connectivity, the input from the front end is given to the backend time series model, and then the prediction from the time series model is again passed to the user interface and displayed. These are the software and hardware requirements of our project. There are 5 models in our project that are data set collection, pre-processing, Arima model with Skyroot, Arima model with second order difference, Sarimax, and user interface connectivity. In the first model that previously I have said like that, we have collected the data set from Kaggle, which contains a 4 columns that are data sold, price for first class tickets, price for second class tickets, and price for third class tickets. It contains a total of 1110 records. Then the data set, we have kept the date sold column as an index to our data set. Then we have checked for stationarity by using add fuller test and KPS test. Initially, we found by using these two states that the time series data is not in stationary. So we have applied the transformation technique square root, and then we have tried it with an ARIMA model. In the ARIMA model, this is the output we have obtained from the ARIMA model. This is the original data which we have trained. This is the predictor data that the ARIMA model produces. By visualizing this graph, we found that the model does not work properly because the graphs are so varied to one another. So we have changed the transformation technique from square root to third order difference. While applying third order difference also, we have found a stationarity in the data, and then again by this third order difference transformation technique, applied data is tried with an ARIMA model. There we found the prediction as shown in this graph. Here similarly, the both the original and predictor data seems to be same. So we found that this model provides good results. So again, also we have tried this the same data, that third order difference applied data to Sarimax algorithm. In this Sarimax algorithm, comparing to all other algorithms, this algorithm provides more accurate results. So we have fixed the Sarimax algorithm to our model and then connected with the user connectivity. The module 5 is the user connectivity. Yeah, that is, we have made a user connectivity by using the Python Fast framework. This is the login page that we have created. By giving the current credentials, we can get entered to the forecasting page. We have given two options, that to forecast on date and to forecast on period. When we give forecast on date, we need to mention the which particular date, for which particular date we need a price. When after giving the date, we get the output for on that particular date, what is the third class tickets price, second class ticket price, and first class ticket price. Then when we move on to the duration wise, we can give a select whether days or month or yearly, for how many days, the particular duration for 10 days or 2 months or 3 years, like that. We given an input and we get on submit. We can get a visualization graphs for first class, second class, and third class tickets. This is the power by visualization which we have done. That when we given a Sarimax algorithm, that the predicted data and original data seems to be very close. So only we have taken this Sarimax algorithm to fix our model. The final results, and these are the results and conclusion. The final conclusion is, when we use some other, we can also analyze with some other time series algorithms and also propose your deep learning techniques, which may be that that model is trained better and produce very good results. These are the references what we have collected. Thank you all for your extreme patience.
Ma'am, do you have any questions for her?
Anisha ma'am, am I audible to you?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. I have one question.
Yeah.
Could you please tell me that you have come up with the solution using time series model? So we have different forecasting and prediction algorithms. So how did you come up with this kind of algorithm? Like, have you like studied different research papers so that after studying you have come up with the solution that the time series algorithm would be best suited for this kind of problem?
Actually, ma'am, during my academics, we have studied about data science. In the data science, that have a separate topic in time series analysis. In that, we found that while comparing to other ML algorithms for the time series data, normally time series data have a special 4 features, that is residuals, trend, seasonality, like that. For to handle those 4 features, comparing to other ML algorithms, time series algorithms will give a better results. Such time series algorithms are ARIMA and Sarimax.
So have you used those references also? Have you published those papers wherein you have made these kind of comparisons?
Yes, ma'am. In this, we have published.
Okay.
those
Actually, I've
papers.
joined this meeting in between, so maybe I skipped some few points here. So you have already compared the different models with the time series model?
Yes, ma'am. We have tried different algorithms. That in this paper for proposed work, we have compared with the two algorithms only, ma'am. That is Arima and Sarimax, and different transformation techniques we have used, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we can move forward to our next presenter. And I would like to invite Kani Mozi S to present her paper on the title Android-based mobile application for hockey tournament management system. Dear presenter, you may please start your presentation now. I think she has not joined the session. So for now, we are moving forward to our next presenter. And our next presenter is Yogesh Rajput. The paper title, Classification of Non-Proliferative Diabetic Retinopathy in Terms of Dark and Bright Lesions Using Multi-Layered Perceptron, MLP. So dear presenter, you can please start with your presentation.
Okay, I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, it's visible.
So good afternoon, all of you. I am Yogesh Rajput, and my presentation topic is classification of non-proliferative diabetic retinopathy in terms of dark and bright lesions using multi-layer perceptron. So let's start the presentation. So before going to start, let me give a brief introduction about my research work. So as we know that our human eye is having different layers, like at the backside of our human eye, there is a thin layer. That thin layer is called as the retina. So retina is having, in our retina, we have different network of blood vessels, and the patient who are suffering from diabetes, so the blood pressure get high, and that blood vessel leak the blood and will damage the retina. So for this reason, we have selected this topic because we want to identify what are the diseases are present in retina, and also we want to help ophthalmologists for detecting this kind of lesions. So these are the basic abstract or brief introduction about my research work. So, according to the World Health Organization, it's that 347 million people living with the diabetes around the globe, and that are more than the 80% of diabetes related to death take place in various nations. So, according to the projections made by the World Health Organization, diabetes would rank as the seventh greatest cause of death in year 2030. So, this is the motivation for our research work, and in this research work, we have classified the diseases into the two groups. First is the dark, and next one is the bright. So, upcoming slide we'll see what we mean of dark and bright lesions. Lesions are sometimes called as the diseases also. So, let's say the dark. So, dark diseases are the microneurysms and hemorrhages, means leakage of blood from the blood vessels in a small amount. It's called microneurysms, and in a large amount, it's called as the hemorrhages. Whereas bright lesions are cotton wool spots and exudates. Exudates means in our retina there is a fluid called vitreous gel. That vitreous gel is oxygenated and it converted to the exudates and the cotton wool spot. So these are the two different categories of disease, which is dark and bright, so that we have classified through the multi-layer perceptron algorithm. So as you know that for every research we require the database. So total we have 1118 images with us, and we have collected the standard data set from the ophthalmologist, which is total 500 images from Dr. Manoj Saswade, and remaining images we have collected from the openly, like it is openly available on the internet, which is called HRF for diabetic retinopathy, HRF for glaucoma, DirectDB, and drive and step. So these are all the standard images with having different kinds of, they have maintained all the, what we can say, the standardization to capturing the images. So let's start. So these are workflow. So first we have read the image from our database in the form of image. Then we have done a pre-processing. So in pre-processing, we have separate the mask, and then we remove the optic disc, because optic disc color is yellow, and our one of disease called cotton wool spots and exudate, these are also color in yellow. That's why to avoid the ambiguity, we have removed the optic disc, and then we extracted the blood vessel, because our all body is nourished with the blood vessels. So retina also have a network of blood vessels. So we have extracted the blood vessels by using the digital image processing technique. Afterwards, we apply the classification technique in the forms of multi-layer perceptron, and then we have classified the diseases into the dark region and the bright region. So in dark, we have is the microneurysms and hemorrhages, which is of red color, and in bright region, we have exudates and cotton wool spot, which is of yellow color. So that's the reason our research topic is of classification of dark and bright regions. So we'll just simplify this each and every part. So first we have collected the images. So as you can see in the first row, the mask is very clear. So the border of the images are very clear. And at the second row, you have seen the images with having the corrupted mask. Means whenever the doctor have captured the image, so some dust particle is available on the camera or the patient move. That's the reason image is not captured correctly. So we have removed these kinds of images, and we have only considered the images with having the correctly captured. So based upon its mask, we have first done a pre-processing. Then next step we have done is the removing of optic disc. So as you can see in these images, you have seen that there are yellow patches there, right? So this yellow is the optic nerve, like whatever we have seen, that is transferred to our brain to this optic nerve. So this is not a disease, that's why we have to remove that. So we have removed optic disc from all the images by using different image processing technique like histogram equalization and contrast stretching, and removing the different kinds of we have separate algorithm for it. Later I'll explain this. Then we have done extraction of blood vessels. So these are our normal retinas. We apply histogram equalization, adaptive histogram equalization, then intensity transformation function and wavelet filter for extracting these blood vessels. Then we have classified the dark and bright region. So these are the dark lesions, which are microneurysms and hemorrhages. Microneurysms means small amount of blood leak from the blood vessels, and hemorrhages is large amount of blood is leak from the blood vessels. So as you can compare in the both the images, in microneurysms you have seen that there are small amount of blood is leak, and that we have overwrite to the original image. So this will help to doctors to do the further process, like whether they have to perform any surgeries or they can perform any kind of treatment. So based upon their expertise, they can do the further process. So our aim is to only extract and show them that what are the affected part. Then we second we have is the bright lesions. So as the name implies, bright means it having with the color yellow. So as in the first row, you can see that these are the yellow patches, which is oxygenated of whiter gel, and that we have extracted through the digital image processing techniques, and we have overwrite this to the original image for the further treatment. And same may happen with the cotton wool spot. So these are the similar kind of diseases we have in the retina. Next, we talk about the result. So in our research, we need to do the ground truth, because we blindly can't tell this is affected or not. So we have total 500 images, so that we have verified with the ophthalmologist. So they have suggested that this belongs to the proliferative, non-proliferative, affected, not affected, severe, mild. So in this way, we have performed the ground truth. Also, we have, by comparison of our proposed algorithm, even we have verified with the doctors, and they are fully satisfied that your proposed algorithm will definitely help us. Also, we have developed one GUI for them, and they are using that. Finally, the comparison, like as you can see, we have referred among 30 more research papers, and we have comparison with us. So our proposed algorithm is having the area under curve is the 0.99, whereas other is having 0.96, 95, 93, 91 respectively. So even we have considered the stare and drive data set. So that's why we have only compared with this. Also, we have different data set like HRF for glaucoma, for the diabetic retinopathy, and our own data set. So publicly available data sets are stare and drive. That's why we have only mentioned this, because the whatever the research paper we have gone through till now, so they have used these two data set widely. That's why we have compared the our result with these existing two data sets. These are our area under curve, or we can say receiver operating characteristics curve, which is the plot between the sensitivity and the specificity. And finally, I'll conclude that the diabetic retinopathy is a very a severe disease we have. Like the patient who are suffering from diabetes from 8 to 10 years, there may be a chances of vision loss. Also, the ladies, the pregnant women is also have the chances of diabetic retinopathy due to the high blood pressure. So these are the some what we can say the motivation behind this topic. And in this research work, we have classified the diseases into the two classes, which is the mild and into bright and dark lesions. And we have used a multi-layer perceptron for classifying this. These are references.
Yogesh, Mr. Yogesh,
Yes, yes, madam.
which tool, which software you have used for your project?
We have used MATLAB 2012B.
Okay. So can you please explain me that why did you use only multi-layered perceptron? Why, like there are many classification algorithms.
Yes, ma'am. There are a number of algorithms are also there, like k-means clustering, support vector
Right.
machine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but according to the literature review, we come to know that the multi-layer perceptron is used for classifying the dark and bright lesion. Actually, we have used support vector machine k-means clustering, but for the stages like mild, moderate, and severe. But this research work, I have only focused about the classification of dark and bright. So yeah, we have also used that, but I haven't mentioned this in my research paper. That's why I've not added here.
Yeah, actually there is only one suggestion. So while you are presenting, then you should come up with those papers also, like
Okay.
your base papers.
Yes.
On
Okay,
the
ma'am.
basis of that, you have come to this topic, so you should include those papers also.
Okay, sure, ma'am.
Okay, okay, Yogesh. Anisha ma'am, can we take up the next presentation?
Yes, sure, ma'am. So we'll move forward to our next presenter, and I would like to invite Sandhya L to present her paper on the title Fake News Detection Using Machine Learning and Deep Learning Classifiers. So dear presenter, you may please start with your paper now.
Ma'am, can you see the screen, ma'am?
No, not yet.
Now, ma'am?
Yes, now it's visible.
Okay. Good afternoon to all. Now I'm start with the ICTS Conference 2023 presentation. Our paper title is Fake News Detection Using Machine Learning and Deep Learning Classifiers. They are all authors of this paper, Nandakumar, Kaushika, Deshima, and Sandhya. This is our project objectives. The main objective of fake news detection in social media using text mining deep learning classifiers is to develop a system that can be accurately identify and flag misleading, fabricated, or deceptive news articles or any other stories on social media platforms. Identifying fake news, the system should be able to identify news that is likely to be false, fabricated, or misleading. This requires analyzing the text of the news and identifying of misleading or false claims to enhance the credibility and trustworthiness of news sources by ensuring that only accurate and truthful information is shared. Then, to protect the integrity of democratic process by preventing the manipulation of public opinion through the spread of fake news. The system should be used deep learning techniques to build classifiers that can distinguish between genuine or fake news. This involves training models on large data sets of unauthored news articles and using techniques such as RNN and the CNN to learn patterns in the data. The system should be evaluated using standard metrics such as precision and recall. Next, we will move to the introduction of our project. The rapid proliferation of social media has made it easier than ever for individuals and organizations to disseminate news and information of large audiences. Unfortunately, this has also led to proliferation fake news, misleading, and also fabricated or deceptive stories that are designed to influence public opinion or spread propaganda. Fake news can have seriousness consequence, including undermining public trust in institutions, exacerbating political polarization, and even inciting violence. Detecting fake news is challenging task due to its diverse nature, where fake news can range from fabricated stories or misleading information. This is our project-related works. In 2015, the author of the paper is Tor Mialau, and the title of the paper is Finding Opinion Manipulation Trolls in News Community Forums. And they have used methodologies board-based features. And we have findings the merits and drawbacks. One of the merits is automatically detect opinion manipulation, and the drawbacks is competition complexity is low. And in 2016, Tor Mialau, Hunting for Troll Comments in News Community Forums, of the title of this paper. They have used methodology of backwards of analysis. We have findings the merits and drawbacks. One of the drawbacks is false positive rate is high, and the merit is automatically identify, classify, comment. In 2017, the author of the paper is Peter Borangonche. Title of the paper is An Approach Based on Predicting the Stance of Headlines to Articles. And they have used the method is 4NLP lemmatizers. And the findings there are demerits is difficult to classify the stance, and potentially to improve the accuracy is one of the merits. This also related works. In 2017, the author of the paper is Sahil Chopra, and the title of the paper is Headline Article Stance Prediction with the LSTM Attention Models. Used the methodology is LSTM algorithm. One of the merit is analyzing the stance between the headline and article, and one of the drawback is need manual intervention. In 2017, the author of the paper is Lev Konstantinkosi, and the title of the paper is Developing an Annotation Scheme and Benchmark for Consistent Automated Claim Detection. And they have used a method is term frequency and inverse document frequency of parts of speech tags. And the one of the merit is annotation scheme and benchmark dataset, and also drawbacks is irrelevant data or extract. In 2019, the author of the paper is Bhagat P. Saxena. The title of the paper is Fake News Prediction Using Bidirectional LSTM Recurrent Neural Network, and they have used method is LSTM Recurrent Neural Network. And one of this paper merit is potential to improve accuracy, and demerit is no automated approach. In 2020, author of the paper is Kumar and Sachin, and title of the paper is Fake News Prediction Using Deep Learning Models, a Novel Approach, and used the methodology is Convolutional Neural Network. And the merit is as potential to improve the accuracy and the efficiency, and demerit is does not support newly updated datasets. In 2020, the author of the paper is D. Oliveria Nicholas. The title of the paper is Sensitive Stylistic Approach to Identify Fake News on Social Networking. The method is Machine Learning Algorithm. And the demerit is not implemented in real-time environment, and the merit is Sensitive Stylistic Approach to Identifying Fake News. In 2020, fake news reduction regarding the Hong Kong event, from which stand the title of this paper. The methodology is mode approach, and the merit is high accuracy and providing valuable contribution. And the demerit is computational process is low. In 2021, the author of the paper is Aruna Mishra, Satya Prakash Kira, and Neetu Sartana. The title of the paper is Survey of Machine Learning Techniques for Fake News Prediction. The method is deep learning with the hybrid models, and one of the drawbacks is does not provide a comparative evaluation of the performance, and the merit is highlights the importance of future engineering data quality. In 2021, Rahul Singh, Rishabh Gupta, and Siddhartha Chopi, there are the author of this paper. The title of the paper is Fake News Prediction Using Deep Learning Models, a Novel Approach. The method is deep learning models, specifically CNN and LSTM method. The merit is comprehensive evaluation of different deep learning models, not easily applicable to real world scenarios of this demerits. In 2022, Smith, Johnson, and Lee They are author of this paper. The title of the paper is Comparative Analysis of Machine Learning Techniques for Fake News Detection. The methodology is machine learning algorithm. One of the drawbacks is dataset not being evaluated for real-world scenarios, and one of the merits is comprehensive analysis of multiple machine learning techniques. This is the related work gap findings. In related work gap findings, some potential gap finding in the field of fake news detection. One common challenge in developing accurate fake news detection is availability of labeled datasets for training. Many existing datasets are very small in size. This can impact the performance of deep learning classifiers as they heavily rely on large labeled datasets for effective training. Overall, addressing these gap findings could lead to more reliable and accurate. Next, this is our paper for system architecture. First, we need to collect the data. Data collection. The first step is,
Miss Sandhya,
ma'am,
kindly wrap up fast. Na? You need to conclude now.
ma'am, can you repeat, ma'am?
एक बार आपको conclude करना पड़ेगा इसको. You need to conclude, है ना? You are exceeding the time limit, so you need to conclude. Conclusion बताइए आप.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Fake news is growing problems in today's society, and it can have serious consequences, including undermining trust in institutions and creating social division. As the field continues to evolve, it will be important to develop more sophisticated techniques for detecting fake news to collaborate across disciplines to address this important problem. Thank you.
Ma'am, can we take up the next paper?
Okay, sure, ma'am. Okay, so we are moving forward to our next presenter, and I would like to invite Monji M. Zaidi to present his paper on the title Impact of Geo-Positioning Information in Limiting Forest Fire Damage. So, dear presenter, you may please start with your paper now.
Yes, thank you. Just 1 moment to attach my presentation. Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Monji. I am from Tunisia, North Africa. Actually, I am within the King Khalid University, Saudi Arabia. I am presenting now the impact, my paper entitled Impact of Geopositioning Information in Limiting Forest Fire Damage. As an outline, we'll start by an abstract. Next, we will show an overview of the forest fire damage around the world. Next, we will present a rapidly expanding area of research of this topic. And after, we will present the early detection forest fire system design. We will present in the 5th section the simulation and results, and we will conclude the paper in section 6. As an abstract, we can see that the use of wireless sensor network has entered various fields, such as industrial, commercial, health, environmental field, and many other fields that require rigorous management in their work. The idea of this paper is to take advantage of the sensor location X, Y, and Z when designing an early detection system for forest fire. Our proposed scheme ensures full control and the flame detection precisely. This presentation is organized as follows. First part covers an overview of the forest fire damage around the world. Part 2 shows the importance of the research field in early forest fire detection, and it's a huge growth in scientific publishing over the past 30 years. The third section describes the design of the proposed system. Simulation and results will be presented in the upcoming section, and finally we will conclude the paper. Here it is shown an overview, but it's not limited to. Just we take here 4 cases in America and in Asia, in South Asia, like Saudi Arabia, and in North Africa, Tunisia, and Algeria. So all cases are summarized in this figure A, B, C, and D. So in A, it was California in July 22. B, Asir region, South Saudi Arabia. C, Algeria, North Africa. And D, the neighboring country, that it was Tunisia in August 21. Let's show now some rapidly expanding area of research. This figure shows the number of published articles per year related to forest fire detection. And this data was retrieved from Web Science of data between 90 and 2020. Another figure shows the published research paper per year of terrestrial, aerial, and satellite-based system. And the same data was retrieved from Web Science between 90 and 2020. Here we present and to show the number of times cited the published article per year of terrestrial, aerial, and satellite-based systems. And this data was also retrieved from Web Science between 90 and 2020. Let's now show the design of this proposed system in this work. So in many applications for wireless sensor network, we need to determine an approximate position for the sensor. And the easiest way is to locate the sensor. It's to place the sensor in predetermined position where this procedure can be taken in place that are easily accessible in the network environment. However, this method is not available in place that are difficult to reach, and the position of the sensor can be determined in another way, which is the use of the global positioning system GPS. But also the GPS is very costly, so the use of GPS is not sufficient in some place, either due to poor coverage in the case of sensor used in indoor underground or in forest environment with changing nature, weather condition and the movement, and especially because of its high cost when providing each sensor with the system. So the idea is to design a process or a unit that can determine the location of the sensor X, Y, and Z. And after this information X, Y, and Z, it will be processed by a microcontroller. And after it was sent, it can be sent via GSM shield to a control center. And from the control center, a rapid intervention to the fire position directly. So here we can save many time and save and we can attack and we can react and make any intervention directly to the position in which there is a fire. The early detection forest fire system design. So this is a flow chart. So we start from the normal condition. Usually the sensor should measure its temperature, humidity perhaps, and especially the lower cost location unit should determine the X, Y, and Z information. All these three data will be processed by the microcontroller, and after here, a test can this phase or this phase of the flow chart should test the temperature. If it is bigger than a threshold, so here the message should be sent to the control center, and the intervention it will be very quickly. So simulation and result. In our work here, we make a combined time of arrival and gradient descendant algorithm to minimize this function. So this is f of b. It's take or it's combined the three information x, j, yj, and zj, and also it takes the distance from each answer and the sensor to be located. So this function, it has to be optimized, and it has to be it has to be minimized. searching by the end the position X, Y, and Z of the sensor to be located. Parameter used in our algorithm. So the used algorithm is time of arrival combined with gradient descendant. The used software, it was MATLAB 16.b. Optimal learning rate for gradient descendant algorithm, it was alpha 0.25. Starting point initialization, this is a starting point, a randomly chosen point, 60, 90, and 60. Simulation area, it was a cube with 100 per 100 per 100 metric cube. Loss and loss environment was taken both. Number of iteration variable from 0 to 100, and number of answer it was fixed to 5. This is a table that summarizes localization error via number of iteration. We start from 5 number of iteration till 100, and we control usually the error of the location process. So it is clearly shown here. So when small number of iteration, the mean square error, it was very big, and going step by step till 16 or 50, we can reach an error less than 5 meters. So since location accuracy in forest fire detection is not a great importance, so 40 and up iteration will be sufficient to know approximately the location of the outbreak. This figure is plot on the mean of the mean square error versus the number of iteration of this combined algorithm time of arrival gradient descendant using the 5 answer node as a reference. As a conclusion, early detection of fire greatly reduce human and material losses. This type of scientific research should be given higher priority. Hence, rapid and reliable detection and locating of fire is required. So proposed optimization algorithm was instructional only addition and subtraction of sample data followed up by their transfer from memory location to another, and about 14 iteration can be implemented as an extra module within the sensor without affecting its capability. As a proposed system, its main application are forest fire detection, determine the location of the fire in large area and determine the source of the fire, and then estimate its direction in advance. These systems are widely used in environmental safety, military uses, neighborhood safety, and agricultural research. Energy consumption via gradient descendant time of arrival proposition algorithm compromise. It's the main task in our future work. This is all. Thank you for your attention, and we are ready for your question if any. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for this presentation.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Monji, can you please tell me that how many research papers you have studied?
Again, please.
How many research papers you have studied for this, like for coming up to this problem?
How many published paper our published, or
No,
how many
no,
reference?
I'm asking about the review of literature which you have done. Literature review.
How many reference review?
No, literature review. Literature review. The research paper which you have already studied.
Okay. It's not a fixed number. I forget really how many paper it was really investigated, but let's tell more than 30 papers on this topic.
Okay. So there is only one suggestion that you should use the your reviewed papers also, like the conclusion which you have gone through from them and the observation of those papers.
Like survey, you mean?
Yeah, you can include the literature review also.
Yeah. Okay.
In one
Okay.
slide, you should include your base papers on which you have come to this solution. Like you can use
Yeah.
this
Good.
particular.
Good comment. Yeah. Good comment. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Anisha ma'am, can we take up the next presentation?
Yes, sure, ma'am. Thank you so much for the presentation. And now we'll move forward to our next presenter. And I would like to invite Bhava Dharani ji to present her paper on the title Survey on Pre-Owned Car Price Prediction Using Random Forest Algorithm. So, dear presenter, you may please start with your paperwork now.
Hi ma'am, I'm Pavitra. Today our presenter is not, she's facing some issues and technical issues. So can I present the project?
Okay, so you're one of the co-author, right?
Yes ma'am.
Yeah, fine.
Good afternoon everyone. I'm Pavitra. I'm here to present a project titled on pre-owned car price prediction using random forest algorithm. Here the main objective of our project is to predict an accurate price of a car based on various features and factors. And some of the features which is identified here is feature importance. Here they determine the most important features that influence the car prices, which can help for the car dealers and manufacturers to understand the factors which affects the pricing. And the other one is model interpretation. Here it can be easily interpreted and understood, making it easier to make informed decisions and improve pricing strategies. And the next one is optimal performance. It ensures that the model performs optimally by selecting the appropriate algorithms, hyperparameters, and accessing the model's performance using appropriate matrices. And scalability. Here we can scale to handle large data sets and new features, allowing it to be used for price prediction and for the wide range of cars. We use about 2 lakhs of data sets, and we have imported here. Here, the car price prediction is a process like estimating the value of vehicles by using some factors like model, price, power, PS, fuel type, year of registrations, gearbox, vehicle type, kilometers. And this application is very useful for both buyers and sellers, where they can determine the car price. And without any car dealers, the sellers can estimate and make decisions of the car price. And predicting the price of the car is done in using variety of methods like online car valuation tools, market analysis, and statistical models. And by using these methods, decisions while buying or selling a car or avoid overpaying or underpricing of the car can be analyzed. Here some of the related works and some of the demerits are identified in these works. For example, you can see they have used some KN algorithm, and they're facing some of the demerits like less accuracy in price prediction. And they have used multiple algorithms, so it does not support any multiple data set. And some of the algorithms need only large datasets and not small datasets. But in our algorithms, we can use both small datasets and large datasets. And another research paper you can see is there is a high complexity. And some of the gap findings. Here, the machine learning algorithm is so difficult to interpret. Sometimes it is very complex and sometimes it may be biased. And it is very challenging to determine the prediction. Here is the proposed architecture of our project. The first one is data collections. Here we data has imported from the Kaggle, and after data collection, we have processed into pre-processing. Pre-processing is a method where the data can be cleansing method or performed. Here we have tried two algorithms. Three algorithms. One is gradient boosting regressor, random forest, and MLP regressor. While comparing three algorithms, we have acquired high accuracy in random forest algorithm while comparing to other two algorithms. And the random forest algorithm is modeled into the predictions, and the output is stored in the MySQL server. And by using flash connectivity, we can buy input from the user in a user interface. And by comparing these two, we can output can be visualized in the user interface. Here are the modules in our project: a dataset collection, pre-processing, model building, and value prediction. Here the data set collected from the Kaggle web data sources and the CSV method, and it contains some attributes such as model, price, power PS, fuel type, year of registrations, gearbox, vehicle type, kilometer, brand, month of registration, not repaired damage. So we have used 11 columns and 2 lakhs of rows. Here the pre-processing, before going into the analyzing the predictions, the pre-processing method is very important. So this method will result out of range values and impossible data combinations, missing values. So analyzing data that has not been carefully screened for such problems will produce a misleading result. So we are representing this pre-processing method for the quality of the data. So in this pre-processing method, we can find some irrelevant or redundant informations and which produce some noisy or unreliable data. So in this model, we can eliminate the relevant values and also estimate the missing values data. And the model building, we have used some random forest regression. And this random forest algorithm is best for the prediction. So it can do both regression and classification tasks, and it is a nonlinear model. And we have used hyperparameters so that hyperparameters such as like model, power PS like that. So that here they train the random forest model on the training set and using optimized hyperparameters. The value prediction. So based on the model building, we can evaluate the performance of the systems in terms of accuracy. So 3 model accuracy where we're comparing, we can see a best accuracy in random forest model. So here is our output screenshot. So here the user can give the input like vehicle type, year of registration. So after submitting the input, the price of the car will be predicted. So results and discussions. So here we have input data sets about car details from Kaggle source. So the data are containing some parameters like model, price, and power PS. And this implement the machine learning algorithms to analyze the performance of the term of accuracy rate. So among 3 algorithms, so random forest regression gives accuracy, higher accuracy while compared to MLP and gradient boosting algorithm. So the conclusion, so by using this application, so we can predict the price of the car with reasonable level of accuracy, and this combining results make some final predictions, and this approach will help to reduce the overfitting and improve the generalizable of the data. And it's important note, like accuracy of the prediction will depend on the quality of the data, so used for the training, so well as other factors such as market conditions and individual preference. The future works, and in order to improve the accuracy of the model, so we can use additional features beyond this, like using condition and accident history of the car by predicting the price. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Bhavna. Sorry.
I'm Pavitra.
Yeah, Pavitra. Ms. Pavitra, can you please tell me that how many algorithms you have already used for this kind of problem? Like, we have included random forest problem.
Yes,
so you must have gone through the other algorithms as well?
Yes, ma'am. We have used random gradient boosting algorithm and MLP, but random forest algorithm is gives high accuracy, and also it handles unbalanced data, and it is very robust to the outliers, while other algorithm is sensitive to the outliers.
Okay. And then why did you choose only these 2 algorithms? There are so many algorithms. So how did you come up with the idea that I should use these 2 algorithms?
I have used only random forest algorithm. Like other papers, we can see they have used multiple algorithms which have faces demerits. So by only using random forest algorithm, we have come a high accuracy.
Okay. So only one thing that you must have studied those research papers as well in which it is actually concluded that the random forest algorithm would be better than other algorithms. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So you can include those papers also in your paper, research paper, so that you can see that by reviewing these papers, I have come up with the solution that I can use these two algorithms, that these two algorithms give us the better result. And between these two also, after making the experiment, I have come up with the solution that the random forest algorithm gives us the best result.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so in classification, we have several algorithms. So how can you come up with those two algorithms only? So we should have the answer of these questions as well. When we'll include research paper, those research papers which conclude that these algorithms works best for this problem, then like the paper would say itself, है ना? आपको explanation की requirement नहीं है. Okay, Anisha ma'am, can we take the next presentation?
Yes, sure, ma'am. So moving forward, I would like to invite our next presenter, Sweta MD, to present her paper on the title Text Detection and Recognition from the Scene Images using RCNN and Easy OCR. So dear presenter, you may please start with your presentation.
My screen is visible?
Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon, all professors. Thanks for giving me an opportunity to present the conference. Myself, Professor Shweta MD. I'm going to present in today's session. Title is Text Detection and Recognition from the Scene Images using RCNN and Easy OCR. RCNN is nothing but Fast Region CNN, and also Easy OCR is nothing but Easy Optical Character Recognition. This is a complete overview. Where it includes introduction, previous work, proposed method, experimental results, conclusion, and references. So coming to the introduction part of this paper, in this it includes, see, an image, if we consider, it composed of pictures, images, text, some logos, everything. So in a image, if we consider, a picture is always worth 1,000 words. So the picture is going to depict the meaning more than a word. So always picture is going to give her the complete clear clarity. So that is why here I am trying to say here, text convey lot of information and also helps to understand the contents of the images in a better way. And also, as the growth of enormous data in recent times, what we are finding in the digital world, we are going to recognize a pattern of text that is going to extract from the image. So that is a very tedious job. So until recently, if we want to consider the OCR, that is optical character recognition technique, this is the one where it is going to be used for the recognizing the text from the scanned documents. So without considering any external factors like illumination change and the perspectives. So here recognition is different and detection is different. So in future slides, I'm going to differentiate the recognition and detection as well. So recognizing the text from the images and the videos, which are going to be captured from the camera, is going to give a lot of applications like image and video indexing, context awareness. So there are majorly two types it has been classified. The first one here that is going to be depicted here as a scene text, and second figure which is going to be depicted as overlay text. So the scene text is a quite tedious job compared to the overlay text, because see here you can make out the difference in this overlay text and the scene text. In the overlay text, there are there is an image where it is overlaid on the normal image. See, this is the image which has been captured from my room on my desktop where I'm keeping my laptop. So where upon that normal image, I have just encapsulated and overlaid with the caption called 8 Thoughts on Inspiration. And similarly, we have captured the image of Celsius where I have written it as seashell as a word. So, whereas in the scene text, you can see the two different images, beware alligator teeth and Antico. So there are so many different languages they have specified, and I have taken the images captured here. See, there is a difference in this. See, as usual, it is here the text is given in the horizontal manner, but whereas in this, detecting this attention something, this and all, it's easy. But whereas here, see, these images is very tedious to detect. See, that's why here bounding parts has been marked here manually. This is detection, and what is what has to be captured inside that particular bounding part. So sometimes it is tedious to capture. So mainly in this scene text, we are going to work more on that. This overlay text very easily we can capture. So for this, to address the above issue, so I'm going to give a problem statement which is redefined here as, to address the below issue what has been mentioned over here, I'm going to propose a technique which is going to detect the text images using the faster RCN model and easy OCR to recognize the text. So even in this, we have two different types. Again, one is a printed document type, which is of OCR type, optical character recognition. In that, the recognition rate is more than 82%. So why is it so? You are getting more than 82%, because the printed document what we have in the OCR, here every text what is given here, easily you can make out, it is horizontally placed. There is no haphazard manner, parallelly or non-parallelly, the images or text has not been given. It is totally a horizontal, well framed sequence of sentences given in this. Many words are there. So it is very easy to recognize. So it is going to give high contrast solid background, high text density, structured text, you can easily make out. And easily you can do some brightness adjustment, and only rotation can be done. But whereas in the real scene images, you will have a recognition rate which is nearly approximately around 62% only. See, in this, the image which you are able to see, Lewis. Okay, so in this, the same way, there are so many other images embedded over here. So it is not so easy to detect and recognize the words what is already embedded in the image. So that is why it depends. Why is it so tedious and challenging? Because there should be a done process called text localization. You have to vary the background, and you will have sometimes low text density and irregular layouts in the images. So you're difficult to do the bounding, marking. And because of the light shadows or the reflections, occlusion, or some distortion, or the text which are captured from a very far away, and the text sometimes differs with their font size. So these are the challenges which you come across in the real scene image. Coming to the next other one, that is detecting and recognizing text in natural images. See, this is one of the gate which I have taken, I've clicked here. See, this you can see here as Z also, or in the horizontal form N also, I also. So you're totally confused whether it's L. So the text here, which is made up of so many individual characters, grouping them into different words. So it is again a challenging task. So the images here, whatever it is considered in this particular gate image, the detection of character might leads to detection of some patterns. It may be I or Z or L, which is placed on the door. And even more you can depict. So because of this image, sometimes your model is going to depict the patterns looks like a characters, and it may leads to ambiguity also. So that's why challenges of text detection and recognition in images and videos. Let us see one by one. So in the category where it considered a background, which is of text, foreground text, and videos. So in that separately have categorized subcategories, that is scene complexity and how the illumination takes place, complex background, how it will be, and the background and foreground process. And coming to the foreground, you will have a different.
Miss Shweta, Miss Shweta, sorry for the interruption.
Okay.
But we have actually time constraint. So can you please come up with your solution?
Sure.
Making
Okay.
your
Okay.
work.
Fine. So these are the different applications which can be used. So these are the challenges of text detection. See, in this challenges of text detection, there are different types of images where you have a low contrast, background complex, and images with the small fonts we can't make out here in this hotel, and images with some distortion we can't make out, images with the illumination we can't depict what is exactly. So literature survey. The library which we have used here, Python package and TensorFlow. So the data flow diagram comes here with image acquisition we need to do. Then you have to annotate what to be marked, and segmentation need to be done. And you have to extract those features and detect the image and recognize and give the results. So in this way, data annotation is going to be done using the label image. So this is a particular graphical image annotation tool. So using this, the machine learning and data annotation is nothing but a process where you are going to label the data to show the particular outcome, what exactly a machine learning model is going to predict. So in this way, you are going to return the in Python, and also you are going to make use of Qt for any graphical interface. So in this way, annotations are saved here exactly as XML files, or which is given in the Pascal VOC format. So in this way, image segmentation, extraction, detection, recognition is done. So for this, I'm using structure of the faster RCNN architecture. So in this way here, if you consider an image where it has a text called root. So text detection using the faster RCNN model I was using, and for the text recognition, I'm using easy OCR. So once this image is fed into, you will have so many different residual layers in the CNN. That will be again using the feature map algorithms. It extracts some features, and that will be fed into the region proposed network. There it is going to classify boundary box recognition, regression, and binary classification. And from there, finally, you are going to get the end results out of it, where that marking, see, this is the detection and this is the recognition. You are going to depict the classification as an actual category, which is text, or the bounding box, which is considered as regression. So in this way, we are going to do text detection using faster CNN, text recognition using RCR. So there are so many hyperparameters used here. So the optimization function which we have used here, ADAM. So ADAM is nothing but adaptive momentum, and learning rate is very less. Here see 0.001 only, and the batch size is of 10 and epoch levels is 50. So for this, we have a multiple rounding box will be there. So we have used NMS. So performance measure, mainly we have taken two different types of data set, which is of ICDR 2013 and 2015. ICDR, where it is having around 2,500 images in it, which is of the size of 1,280 into 720. And whereas in 2015, ICDR is nothing but International Conference Documentation Analysis Recognition. In that, we have around 2,077 images, which is of size 640 into 480 size. So in this, there are so many, again, the data set contains, so many challenges where you have low contrast, background, for a small font size, multicolor, it may be the slant in irregular manner. So for that, we have applied the formulas like precision rate, recall, and F-score. We are going to get the percentage of accuracy of around precision 33%, recall 50%, and F-score 0.39%. So these are the text which is exactly detected as it is. We can make out Singapore. It is marked and you can detect. But whereas a non-text, which is of some other images where you can in the shadow, you're not able to figure it out what is exactly. So that is all non-text. So these are the things you can easily differentiate in this by using the ICTIS 2013 images. So this is a text detection where easily you can note it down as root. So the efficiency of detecting that is around 80%. So these are the coordinates where it is going to depict and recognize the result as root. So it is successfully recognized. Even here, these are all the bounding box where it is marked manually. And this is easily, it is recognized after the text detection is done, the South Colonnade E14. So in this way, text detection and recognition results has been done on the ICTIS 2013 images. So these are the different input images we have taken. For that text detection results, what we have got here by doing the bounding.
Ma'am, can you please conclude fast?
Okay, fine. So in this way, you can find the text recognition results, text recognition results, and detection results. So finally, these are the results on the ICTIS 2015 types, 15 images. Done. So finally, I can say that this is a final one, just last 1 minute. So in this, you are going to have two different tables here. One is for detection results of ICTIS 13, which is compared with the 15 and other different methods as well. So with respect to that, we have used segment link, pixel link, text boxes, and proposed method. So so in the ICTIS 13, we are going to get the better accuracy compared to the ICTIS 15, because in ICTIS 15, we have the images what we have considered, it is not so feasible images, which is quite complex in nature, and it is not in a horizontal fashion. It is slightly vertical and curved form. Whereas in the recognition results, we got the considering only with the ICTIS 13 which is compared by using these methods, photo OCR and all, we got the results of this many recognition rate percentage. So finally, I can conclude here as the proposed model which we have done is totally, I can say it's a good enough to handle, which is not near a horizontal form or vertical oriented or complex background scene images. So finally, I can conclude here, faster RCNN model, which is going to give a better performance if we consider a huge volume of data sources. So future work we can consider here, many other deep learning methods can be involved, and future scope, it can always there is a scope to improve the high performance computing. And mainly it is going to be considered as multilingual. Now it is mainly focused as it's an international English language. Multilingual can be extended to different languages as well.
Thank
Done,
you so much.
Done.
You have explained everything thoroughly.
Yes.
Thank you for your presentation.
Yes, ma'am.
Anisha ma'am, can we take up the next presentation?
Yeah, okay, sure, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for giving me the time.
Yeah, thank you so much for the presentation.
Okay.
And now we are moving forward to our next presenter. And I would like to invite Sanket Chauhan to present his paper on the title, The Important Role of Industry Data Connectivity Using M2M and IoT Applications for Processing and Analysis. So dear presenter, you may please start with your presentation now.
Hello, is it visible my screen?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, good afternoon all of you. So first of in today's session, I would like to present my research articles on the important roles of the industry data connectivity using the machine to machine and the IoT application. So now, first of in the conference on behalf of the ICTIS 2023. So just a minute. So now it's submitted to ICTIS, and also publication partners literature. So myself, Sankit Chauhan, as a research scholar at the Marwar University, Rajkot. And right now I'm pursuing my PhD under guidance of Dr. Kalpesh Popat sir. So right now we are uploading all this in that. So now here, so first of all, let's start with the MQTT. It's a machine message queuing transport element. So it's a protocol to start moving the data between the IoT devices and the server. So right now we are implementing such kind of the functionality on the IoT basis with the different platforms using the cloud services providers and the for the application provider. So like devices support connectivity with the MQTT and so many different platforms as well as the different protocols are available. So now originally developed in 1999 by the Andy Stanford, it's a founder of the MQTT. So right now we can see the flow diagrams, so like it's a connectivity parts of the like MQTT devices. So in all the intercurrent systems and scenario, we had already connected so many different devices and platforms using this such kind of the protocol. So right now, the comparatively others, MQTT is one of the most popular and as well as the like demanding protocols compared to others for the application development as well as the analyzing the processing data. So in the current scenario, right now I'm implementing my research on these MQTT protocols. Okay, because of the some key benefits. Right now, you can see here the lightweight and the efficient minimize as well as the enable bidirectional communication between the device and the server. And we had already implementing some functionality, the real message, the time requiring the unreliable network, as well as the some specific scale factors and the part of the message transfer protocol. So for the application development as well as the mobile application development as well as the some industry-based protocols implementation. So like the basic concept of the MQTT, so it's a totally based on the working as a broker. Like MQTT is the MQTT broker, the clients. So it will be connected some functionality with another relevant applications as well as the some chipset clients publish as message. So each MQTT message include the different topics. See, it's a totally based on the request and response architectures. See, when we submitting some request, so it will be verified, and the broker has been sent some response from the specific rights. The client publishes message, the topic of the MQTT, which are various platforms are the subscriber. So the availability time and another protocols like actually we have lots of option to connect it with the analyze the data using the industry base as well as some application. So now one of the here like AMQP. So now it is called Advanced Message Queuing Protocol. So it's a broker cluster with the redundancy building, but comparatively MQTT and AMQP. So both are the applicable for the visualization platform as well as the transfer the data between one platform to another platform, as well as the like part of the alerts and notification as the configuration part. So when we implementing such kind of the functionality using the IoT, so it's a totally based on the different protocol like the machine to machines as well as the machine to broker as well as the machine to different devices, etc. Like the integration part here, like MQTT integrations, it's allowed to connect the external MQTT broker because it will be divided some different functionalities and devices with a lot of sensors. So here we have provided some functionality as a backend part to connect these parts of the, and also it will be provide some data on the analysis part using the Things board. See, right now here you can see the Things board. Things board is a platform to provide this such kind of the functionality and analysis between the data on the different IoT platform. Now this is the flow diagram, the integration diagram. Right now we can see we have lots of options to connect such kind of the functionality using the MQTT. Like you see, MQTT is a mediator. For example, here right now I'm passing some request from one IoT device to the another device. So first, MQTT will be verified the request and it will be sent some response data using the different formats. It may be in a JSON, it may be in a binary, or it may be in a XML. So it's based on the API integration. So in the backend side, we implemented some functionality using the program applicability, using the Python as well as the advanced C, okay, whatever is the requirement. And the best platform is provided by the ThinkSboard. And we have also one platform, we can also integrate, like it's a ThinkSpeak, like ThinkSboard and ThinkSpeak, both are the third-party platforms. So now we're implementing the real-time dashboards as well as the application integrations in analysis data. So now here it's a integration using the ThinkSboard. It's initial stage, it's a complicated, but at that time we're implementing some subscriber topics. It will be convert data into telemetry attributes as well as the some device suitable formats which recognize some application names. So right now here we can see this is a testing purpose data. So integrate these things for platform, and it will be analyzes some IoT platform sensor data using the Node MCU. Okay, using the Arduino and with various sensors. Okay, so now it will be connected some applications, and this is the real-time dashboard. So it will be integrated and produce some analyzed data. Okay, with already connected some applications. So right now in my current research implementation, I'm implementing using the Python. Okay, with PAHO and MQTT library. So it will be integrated and it will be produce some data of the real design. So now we can easily analyze and the visualizations forms. So each and every functionalities as well as the connected devices. The planning for the forthcoming, like it's a flexible and easy to use technology that provide the effectives and the communication between different applications as well as the platform. Okay, it will be helpful like see the specific applications and the sensor devices at the MQTT protocol. Like in my current research, like we developed the industry-oriented solution for the signal monitoring system, and also we use the MQTT and power data to the ThinkSboard as well. But in the future work with implementing oven dashboard using the different APIs, so it's functioning with different IoT systems, so we can easily achieve this suitable communication protocol using the MQTT. And last is the concluding remarks. So MQTT is a strong competitor in the field of data transfer and the network communications, because for example, it outperform the MQTTs throughout the various applications the platform divided. The main reasons and the demanding technologies, it will be provided to handle security needs. So comparatively MQTT and AMQP, okay, so we'll define the specific aspect. Like here, there are the several key benefits that MQTT provide, like reliability, the fast response capabilities, the support ultimate publish subscriber request response, and the sufficient documentation capability. So we can easily integrate each and every the all the max MQTT well suited for the better implementation. And also the another option we are implementing using the MQTT, but it is an optional part to integrating the advanced messaging protocol, because comparatively MQTT, we have lots of options are available to integrate such kind of the functionality. The key capability like organization technology stands space, so we required some fundamental implementation knowledge as well as the some specific system. So we don't need to be available simultaneously. So we provide the different platforms and organizations like business cases. So right now some functionalities and real life scenario application which are already built up with the MQTT. For example, we can see here the whole over the enterprises systems and the data servers and cloud-based systems, okay, using the various technologies and languages. But comparatively, see MQTT, it's much possible regarding the key features. So we can also we have learned like the security interoperability standards and open source. So we easily integrate with the activity. So here it's a difference between MQT and MQTT we had already discussed in the previous slides. And right now the current scenario is the application developments and the connectivity features they require the MQTT. Okay, actually I had already published my 2 research articles and survey papers on the various journals and like international journals as well. And already for my current research, I've already studied about like 20 plus different articles and research papers. So now here we can see the references about the different papers and the concluding like literature review. So now from my side, it's thank you. If you have any queries and benefits, please let me know.
Yes, congratulations, Mr. Sangeet. You have presented your research paper very well, very structured paper.
Thank you.
Anisha ma'am, can we take up the next presentation if we are left with anyone?
Ma'am, actually, we are done with all the presentations for this session.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, so now I would like to give the closing remarks. So now I sincerely thank all the authors for their excellent presentation and contribution in this session, and all our participants for being a part of this international conference. I hope the session was informative enough for you all. And we, on behalf of the whole team, thank you for your support during this version and the previous 6 versions of the conference. And we will be happy to have you in the 8th version in 2024. All the presenters would be getting their digital certificates through email within 2 working days. And further, all the papers have already forwarded to Springer. The publication will be live within 6 months. So kindly cooperate with the team of ICTIS 2023. I would also like to thank our session chair for chairing the session. And here is a small token of appreciation on behalf of the team ICTIS and Global Knowledge Research Foundation. So thank you so much for your valuable presence, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. And thank you so much all the presenters for their illuminating presentations and discussions. Thank you so much.
And now I would request you all to please switch on your cameras for a quick snapshot of this virtual conference. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Stay safe and take care.